Good day, one and all. This is Kathy welcoming you to another episode of the Scrap and Crafty Gardener. Today I am making a card based on this past Friday's Craft Roulette Challenge number 264. If you are not familiar with Craft Roulette, really, you've got to check it out. They spin a wheel every Friday and give you a challenge of what you need to make for the coming week. And you submit your card once you're done by taking a picture of it, and you can possibly win prizes from some really nice stamp companies, etc. And it's just fun to do it, and it really stretches your imagination. Uh, so for this past Friday, they spun the roulette wheel, and we need to make a project that is a card for an influencer using dreamy colors. It has to have craft or crafter on it, and random something's got to be off center. So today I am going to be making a card for my sister-in-law, who is a crafter, um, and went with me to this last weekend scrapbooking convention at Akron, Ohio. She is who got me interested in scrapbooking and card making um, almost 13 years ago now. So this is going to be a card for her to thank her for kind of going with me. And I will be using the dreamy colors. When I think of it, I kind of think of Cinderella princessy with blue and sparkles. So I'm going to go with blue and white, silver, and sparkles for my card. And for the crafts, I'm going to have a girl knitting on here. Okay. Well, actually crocheting, pardon me. I'll be using this stamp set. I'm pretty darn sure that this is an off-brand, but my brother-in-law found it on eBay for me and bought it. And I intended to use it. I promised him I would use it on the video, and this worked out good that I'll use that. I'll also be using some stamps from Simon Says Stamps, the Yarn Love. All right. And then I just found this piece. This is like a pale green floral vine with blue sparklies, and that's what I thought of. All right, so I've got my pieces cut out. So this should be fairly straightforward, except for a little bit of alcohol ink coloring. Making a white card today that's 10 inches by 7 inches. You score it at the 5-inch line, fold it, and crease it with your bone folder. Then I have a piece of white that is 6 3/4 by 4 3/4. And then from GinaK's Master Layouts 13, I cut a piece of silver that is 2 1/8 by 4 3/8, and then a piece of white cardstock that is 2 by 4 1/4. And then I cut this oval stitch die. This is from wanttoscrap.com. This measures 3.5 by 4.5, if I got my measurements right. All right, and I just use scrap whites, that pretty green blue. Now let me get this card started. I'm going to emboss this background just this littlest bit. I'm using Divinity Designs' embossing folder called Cross Stitch, and I don't believe this will cover the whole thing. It might. Yeah, it'll give me just a nice little decorative edge. Yes, it should cover most of that, and there'll just be a border at the top and the side that aren't in there. So I'm just going to run that through my die machine. For the Anna Griffin Empress, I just need the A plate, metal plate, embossing folder, and the top plate. I chose this plate because it kind of looks, well, it's cross stitch, but it looks like you could be a background that is also appropriate for a knitting or crochet themed card, which this is going to be. All right. Now this I'm just going to glue down flat. Oh, and I found some really cool things at that scrapbooking convention. I'm going to try and make that video later today instead of tomorrow. It will post tomorrow, but our weather's not supposed to be very good tomorrow, with some pretty nasty thunderstorms and potentials for tornadoes. I don't think we'll have any, but just in case, I want to be ready and done. Okay, now on this piece of the white, that's where I want to stamp. And let me get my stamping platform. I just need my mini today. Let's set those aside. And I just want to, this is pretty much going to be covered up. So I just want to put, I think I want to put this ball of yarn on there. I mean, this is knitting and the girl's going to be crocheting, but it will work out just fine, I think. I kind of want to put that like here, and then maybe just a skein of yarn down here. A lot of this is going to be covered up, and I'm not going to color it. I'm just going to stamp that with my VersaFine Clair Nocturne. I could color that in, and I may, once I get the rest of the card colored, just to see if it will look good. I'm going to do just a little bit more ink down here at the bottom. All right, and I don't have my my waffle flower grip mat or my GinaK Tidy Towel Clean. So I'm just setting that aside. Okay. Now these are going to get glued together. It's not prepared. I did a lot of yard work this morning. We had rain all weekend while I was away, and the grass and the weeds grew. So I spent the morning weeding the flower beds, mowing the grass, all that kind of stuff. Time got away from me. And I'm about an hour now from posting. So I'm hoping I can get this done. I know I can get it filmed and posted. I don't know if I'll have a chance to fill in the product description box yet. And I'm just going to set this aside with my acrylic block on here just to hold it down. And let that dry while I put together and color this wonderful thing. I'm just going to get a piece of scrap paper. All right, now this is the couch, and you've got a couple little legs, and I want them to be like a light brown. And I just covered up all my colors. I'm just going to try this one. Oh, that'll be nice. This is E371 From Dust. And I'm just going to color the legs brown. And I think I'll also use this for the lighter aspects of the girl's hair. So I'm just going to, while I have that brown out, I'm just going to color her little hair wig here. And I'm going over it a couple of times because that will make it a little bit darker. And then I'm going to add in some E440 Bronze. Yeah, just kind of following some of the ridges that were cut in there. Just to give some like highlights and a little bit of shadowing. I don't know if you can see ink on my finger, but that will dry and look nice on her head. All right, it's for the couch. I cut these out of a light blue scrap. This is going to get glued down. I just want to get my reverse tweezers here. I hear you, pumpkin. I tried coming downstairs to film without them. Yeah, but because I've been gone all weekend, they were not happy for me to come down to the basement without them for a couple hours. And then this is a bottom part of the cushion. I'm hoping I'm getting this put together correctly. And then we've got some angled pieces that are the actual cushions where the girl's supposed to sit. No, Pumpkin, do not come on the desk. Thank you. That's a good boy. He is so long-haired and fluffy that if he got up here, it would be a major mess. Oh, I must have cut out an extra cushion. I didn't need that. Pardon me. Okay, now I'm going to color the girl. And I'm going to use E494 Pastel Peach. If you have this die set, you can use any color skin. My sister-in-law is very pale. So she's out in the sun all day. Okay. Now, I'm just going to put the colors I'm done with up there. Okay, now she's got a shirt and a pair of pants. And I want to do, I think this is the one I want for the pants. Yeah, kind of looks like a light denim. This is MG060 Blue Gray. So I'm going to make it look like she's wearing jeans because my sister-in-law Bonnie wears jeans quite often. Okay, and now the shirt. I wanted to do that in, I'm going to give it a striped shirt if I can. I'm going to use B879 Pastel Blue and G769 Mignonette. I'm going to try to stripe it. I'm going to kind of do this with the sleeve cap in the one color. And then add some green. And then I'm going to have the rest of the shirt going sideways. All right, so here goes. No, Pumpkin, you're going to have to wait till Mama's done. I told you if you came in, you had to stay. I know. Yeah, the striping is not going as much as I would have liked. But that's okay. And then I want to use these same colors for the balls of yarn. I'll do this stripe a little wider. That'll look okay. Now, did I put the right cap? No, I did not put the right cap on the right marker. All right. And then the hands come up on this because she's supposed to be holding her yarn. Yeah, the stripes look much better once her hands are on there. So now I just got to glue this piece down. Oh, Pumpkin, I'm sorry. You're not happy down here. Glue her hair on. got to give her a little eye color. Oh, goodness. I don't think I want to use... I'm going to do a little bit of the dark blue. That looks pretty good. All right. Now, she's supposed to be holding a crochet hook, and I didn't see anything in the die set. I think this was the used set. So I'm going to try and make her a little crochet hook. And I'm just going to do, without cutting it or myself, a little angled hook. All right. Okay. That's going to work for a crochet hook, I hope. Now, this, she has a ball of yarn that she is already crocheting. This is B878 Ultramarine. This is dark blue. I'm going with the shades of the blues, because that's what I think of when I think of Dreamy. I think Cinderella. And I was hoping I had blue tulle, because I had a card idea in mind using tulle, but I didn't have blue tulle. So this is what I came up with. Now I'm doing the balls of yarn. I'm going to do some of them in the dark blue, and then one of them in the green that I did her shirt in. Actually, I think two in the green. And then I think one in the lighter blue. And cut out a little pillow. It's the same color as the couch. So I just want to take my marker and go over the edges, just like you would do with an ink pad, only I'm just doing with the marker, just to give a little bit of definition so it's not the same as the couch. So you can tell that there's something extra on it and not the couch. All right, I need to put the legs on the back of the couch. And I think I'll put one there and one there. That was probably off camera. I apologize for that. And I want to put them on about the same length down. You could make a tall couch. You could make a short couch. These legs look like they would go either or. I like that. Now I want to put one of these on here, and this I'm going to put down flat. And I want to kind of angle it. And that's why I added the blue edge to the pillow, just so that it looks more like it's a three-part piece. Now this will go in her hands. So I'm going to get just a glue dot for that. I don't want my big ones. Oh, those are the big ones. I have a lot of big ones. Well, I'll just take one of these and fold it down and put it behind. Because this is going to go in her hand, like she's holding it down. And the glue dot gives it a little bit of dimension, pops it up a little bit. And then I'm going to take my finangled crochet hook here and glue that down. I didn't put glue on the tip. She's just going to be holding it like that. Okay, and then she's going to sit on the couch, and I am going to take a couple, no, not those, just my short strips of foam tape, because I want her above the couch. because she's not part of the couch. I hear you, Pumpkin. We'll be going up probably in about 15 minutes. Oops, I'm gluing the extra yarn. I don't want to glue that yet. Yes, I'm sure they can hear you on TV. Did you miss Mama while I was away? Yes, I missed you too. Oh, and I found a tool while I was away that would help me do this a lot better. And I'll show you that on the next video. I'm sure you probably already know all about the tool, but this is the first time that I had seen or used it. And I've got so much glue on my fingers that the tape is sticking to me. And not wanting to stick to her. All right. Figure out where I want her to sit, and I'm going to have her sit kind of, see that? That has to go down lower because this yarn is supposed to be in the bowl, which is going to be sitting on the couch with her. So I think right about there. And I'm going to sit her in the corner over here. No good extra. All right. Now I did make a little silver bowl because I'm going with the colors of blue and silver. And that is going to go right there on the couch behind, in front of the pillow. And the ball of yarn is going to be sticking right there. But I want this to be popped up, and then the yarn is going to get tucked in the bowl. Get it off her foot. And then I'm going to put a little, just a bit of glue where I want the ball of yarn to be. And then get everything hooked down. Oh, it would help if you take the backing off of the foam tape. All right. Now this ball of yarn is coming out of the bowl and going to be hanging down. And then the other balls of yarn I can just stick in here. And then this little ball of yarn is going to be going up. And get a wet wipe here because everything's now sticking to me. All right, and I can put this on the card. Right. I still have a pillow to put on. Yeah, I'm going to tuck a pillow in behind her. Well, I didn't want it to go all the way behind her because it has to be glued down first. Just like that. There is another pillow, but I'm going to put that, I think, under her feet, like a little ottoman. And then I can glue her feet down with a glue dot onto the ottoman. Or actually, I can just put them down with just a drop of glue. That should work. Yeah, all right. Okay, now we've got another ball of yarn, which I will add. But then I have two kitties. A little tiny kitten and then a larger cat. And the little tiny kitten, I'm going to use E686 Brown, but it's more like an orange. I think I would have called this Rust. And it's got a little tail here. And then the large kitty is going to be 2 shades of gray. Let's see which one's the lighter. Okay, so I'm going to use CG040 neutral gray and just color the kitty. And then I'm going to use CG080 green gray, just to give him a little bit of tabby markings. I think I put a little M on his forehead and just give him some tabby markings. And I'm going to do him a solid color foot. And then he's got little itty bitty teeny tiny ears that will go in once I have everything done. And I'm going to make those pink. That is RV194 medium pink. All right, now I'm going to put this thing together and see how it looks. I could leave that oval. You know, I think I'm going to leave that oval off. Yeah, I like it without the oval much better. And I've got some glue on her face. I don't have my adhesive eraser here. I'm just going to use the sand eraser. Yeah, she looks like she has a little dirty face. Yeah, she does. Yeah, I like it without the oval better. Yes, no oval. This is going to get popped up. I'm going to use my foam tape. And I'm going to put some, I'll use some larger pieces behind her. So forget what I said about needing that large circle. You don't need that large circle. It looks better without. All right. You never know till you put it together. You get an idea and think, yep, that's what I want to do. Okay. Going to move her up because down here, this little kitty's going to be playing on the floor with this ball of yarn. So I need to attach that down. And I'm going to put one of these Zots, which is a glue dot, and I'm going to ball it up and put that on top of that to hold it down, because the kitty's head will go right on top of that. And then I want to put this other little ball in front of him. And I'm going to pop that up with another one of those balled up glue dots, because I want this one to be on his paw. So he's playing with 2 balls of yarn. And he is a happy kitty. Okay, now I need to get the ears behind there. So I just want to glue his back end down as flat as I can. Now this one is a front end popped up. And his tail's going to go a little bit under the couch. Now see if I can get the ears in there. Yep. All right. I might need to put, I don't think they're going to work. I'm going to take that oval and I'm just going to cut a little piece. It's probably too big. I put that behind his head. Nah, I'm going to try gluing those ears on. I don't think it's going to work. Yeah, I don't think so, but I'm going to give it a try. And my wax pickup tool is still packed away in my suitcase. I took a class at the convention. Oh, that was so much fun. That's the one ear, and that's the other ear. And I don't think there's going to be anything behind it to hold it. So I'm going to cut that piece of paper down and just put a little piece behind the ear. The other ear might stay down, but this one doesn't have anything to attach to. There, I hid it behind. Okay, now this little kitty is going to sit up here behind the couch, and he needs one of these foam dots. I hear you. Oh my goodness. I'll be done in just a minute. So I want to put 2 on him, make it a little taller. So it's more like almost a 1/4 of an inch in height. He's going to be playing with this ball of yarn. And his little tail is going to be sticking out over here. So I'm just going to glue that down flat to the card. Now I'm going to put this on pause real quick and let my cat out of the basement. And I'm going to get my adhesive eraser to get that glue off her finger. And I'm going to stamp a sentiment, get a sentiment stamped and cut out. Hold on. Okay, I am back. I chose this stamp, this saying from the Simon Says stamp set. Some days you're the cat, some days you're the yarn. And then I just put it on a sentiment die and cut it out. But I'm going to use my adhesive eraser. I have some dried glue on her face. And this usually works very well. Of course, when you're on camera, not always. You just have to wait till your glue dries, and then this will be able to pick it right off. Just takes a little bit of doing. And there we go. A little tiny spot left. There, that's off of her face. And I think that is a good spot to put my sentiment strip. I'm just going to use one of these, well, I don't have another long one out, so I'm just going to use my narrow foam strips. And just put those on there. Oh my goodness, I let my cat out and now he's meowing to get back in. That's not going to happen. I know I'll get this video uploaded just in time to come out at 3 o'clock. So give me about 20 minutes afterwards because I still have to turn on my computer upstairs and I'll type in the products I've used and get those added. And that is my card for my sister-in-law. Some days you're the cat, some days you're the yarn. Thank you so much for watching. I didn't put any sparkle on it because we've got some silver here, and she's got a silver crochet hook and the sparkles in the back of the card. I think that looks pretty good. No extra sparkle needed. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.